This is such a great subject. How can you tell if the narcissist is lying, or anybody for that matter? They are so good at lying that it's nearly impossible, or quite impossible, to actually tell when they are lying. But do they ever even tell the truth? And how to catch them out in a lie? Although, what difference would it make? It's not going to change anything. Watch this video because I'm going to be talking about how you can tell when the narcissist is lying. Hello and welcome back. I hope that you're all doing really well. So this has been a really requested video, and actually I've got to say, as someone who, or as a professional that works in the field of psychology, it is a topic of discussion. It is something that is on people's minds, basically being asked, how can you tell if somebody is lying? Or in this particular case, how can you tell if a narcissist is lying? I'm going to delve deeper into this and really talk about the pathological side of lying in particular, but also certain facial expressions and body language that you can tell when someone is not telling you the truth. But before I get into the video, I just wanted to say that I do go live on this channel once a week, and if you have something that's on your mind or there is a question, I would say come on over, join the live stream. What have you got to lose? It's absolutely free, and we have such an amazing, lovely community as well. So do check it out. Please check the link in the description box, but also do check on the community tab because I do post like most of the information on there. So my friends, how can you tell if the narcissist is lying? There used to be this joke that was on social media, and it said, you can tell a narcissist lying by them simply opening their mouth. Now, I would say that most part of that is actually true. You know, narcissists are all about the lie. They don't really tell the truth. However, the truth does come out. They do drop these truth bombs if you listen carefully. Like, usually this happens right at the beginning. Now think back to your relationship with the narcissist. Think back to the beginning when they would say things like, I'm just this dark shell, or you don't want to get involved with me because I'll just hurt you. Or they'll say things like, oh, I can't feel anything. I don't have any emotions, or something along those lines. Like, obviously they're not all going to say the same thing, but something to that effect, you know, where the narcissist actually tells on themselves. They will say these little truth bombs now and again, you know, and that's what we got to listen to. That's what we've got to remember. You would have heard it. You would have listened to it. They would have said it usually right at the beginning. And the reason why they say it right at the beginning is because your guard is down. So you're not going to scrutinize them, like really listen, because at that point you are being love bombed. Now, if someone is love bombing you, why? Oh my gosh, why would you be questioning them? And that's why they do it. And then they stop and then they don't do it again. But you see, this is what we're talking about here, is the pathological side of lying. Okay, lying, okay, for a narcissist comes very easy. They have done this all of their life. They do it as a bid to be able to survive in their environment. Because remember, they are in survival mode. They need to be able to fit in, to feel accepted. And if they don't, this is very difficult for them. This is what supply is. They want people's attention. They want the validation. And they can't get that if they bring their real selves to the table. Not that they actually know what their real selves is, but they can't be themselves. They need to be able to orchestrate the situation or change who they are so that they fit into the dynamics of that group, that person. They kind of think, what would that person want me to be? And I will be them. This is called mirroring. So they will mirror the group of people or the person that they want this acceptance from. Now, when they lie, so they lie about literally everything. Everything is a lie. And the reason why it's a lie is because this need to fit in some way. They believe their own lies. So they live in a fantasy world. They live in this illusion. There is a thin line between fantasy and reality. And the narcissist lives more kind of rooted in the fantasy. Because how can it be, you know, that they're telling these lies? They're going to have to believe what they are saying. They have to be able to believe these lies, because if they don't, the cover will be blown. So they have to live in this fantasy. They have to live in this lie. That's why they do it. And when you believe the lie and live in this fantasy world, you kind of get away with it a lot more, because what you do is you integrate this alter reality. You believe it, you embody it so much that you become that. And they make everybody else around them believe it, because they believe it. The narcissist believes it so much. And so everything that they say and do usually is a lie. It's usually them being rooted in this world of fantasy. None of it is real. None of it actually makes sense. None of it you can actually pin them down and for it to be a reality. Because it is a fantasy. It's a mirage. It's not real. They live in that. And then for them to be in reality, the realness of this experience of really what is going on for them would be too painful, because they spend their whole lives running away from reality, because they want to create this fantasy world of how they wish they are, how they wish they would be seen. So this fantasy is a mirage. The reality is that they cannot handle the truth. They cannot handle the reality of the situation because it's too painful. So it's actually a coping mechanism. It's actually a deflection. It's a projection of who they really are, who they really want, or how they want to be seen. So if you confront a narcissist and you say, hey, do you know what? Like, I know that you're lying. They will turn this around and say that you're the liar, and say that you have got this all wrong. They will deflect, because they're not going to take responsibility for their actions, for their behavior, because in their mind, they believe this fantasy that they are living in. They don't want to see the truth of the situation. That to them is not important. What is important is that they keep the lie going. They keep this fantasy, this illusion world, you know, alive. That's what's important to them. So how can you tell if a narcissist is lying? Most probably they are lying all the time. Most probably a lot of this is part of the mental health condition, that actually they are living in this fantasy, and that it's this constructed reality within their minds that they are projecting out. So a lot of it isn't real, doesn't make sense. If you think about it, you listen to what they are saying, a lot of the stuff doesn't make sense. It doesn't match up. Things that the way that they behave also doesn't make sense and doesn't match up. So it makes us think, wow, what's going on here? You know, and, you know, to lie to that level, the way that they do, you wouldn't do that, because that's not how we live. We have humanity, we have a conscience, we have empathy, and we don't want to hurt another person with our behavior, our actions and our words. But a narcissist is detached from that, devoid from that, so they don't really care about that. So it's more of a fact that you've got to see this as a whole, not actually what they are doing, not the behavior. It's why are they actually lying? What is going on? Why do they live in this fantasy world and want everybody else to believe it? Because they are the ones that exist in this fantasy. They are projecting a world that they want you to believe. So how can you tell if a narcissist is lying? Usually people, when they are lying, they will look down. There's no eye contact. So you can always tell when someone is lying. And also when you're looking at someone's eyes, when they're talking to you, that is direct communication. But when someone is looking down, they're not telling you the truth because they're looking down. They can't communicate that with their eyes. Someone who blinks a lot as well. Someone who might even stutter. But usually you will get a general sense when someone is not telling the truth. You'll know when they're not telling the truth. You'll see it in their eyes, which is why they avoid contact. Narcissists, when they're lying, they'll look at you. They've got this down to a T. They know. But you'll notice by their behavior, it's very defensive. They may have their back turned towards you. They might have their hands resting over, maybe their heart space, their front bit. Usually because it's like, don't come too close. So you'll be able to tell by the body language as well. But usually a narcissist is not telling the truth. They are living in this world of fantasy that they have created. So remember this next time that you are talking to a narcissist, or you want to say something to them, or you've caught them out in their lie, they're never going to admit to it. They will deflect it and say it's you. So if you are someone that is going through this or have experienced this, please know that I do offer one-to-one consultations. Please see the description box below. I've also got a mentorship and a journal club where I post in there every single Monday. And if you're interested in joining, please do see the description box below. I've also got a Discord server, which is absolutely free for you to join. It is a community of like-minded individuals, people who have gone through similar things like you have. If you are interested in joining, please do see the description box below. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.